Hello again. This is Rubber Band, and I've been thinking because I'm a professional locksmith. I have a lot of toolkits. I figured since I've had a few put together through the years, I'm going to do a tour of a few of them, tell you why I put them together the way that they're configured, and then see if it kind of holds up to what I carry in my pockets. And then I'll kind of compare and contrast that when I tour that kit on video sometime soon. Because who doesn't love tools? And you'll forgive if I do some deep inhales. I'm a nervous public speaker, and also it's very cold in my shop, so I'm going to be getting that cool breaths. All right, what do we got here? So we've got a bunch of Rytan full-size picks, a couple of HPCs. These are all locksmith kind of gold standards. These are at every supply house. Turning tools, much the same. This would have been kept in my coat pocket for winter picking, so I could use these with gloves if I needed to. And then I had these for some top of keyway stuff, some rigid turning tools, tubular here, some decoder shims. I think one's a bit rusty. Yeah, it is. And yeah, so these are decoder shims for like Master 175s. I've got a busted Bogota that I keep as a reminder to be gentle. So that's more of a painful reminder. So anyway, we're not talking about that. I've got some double-sided wafer jigglers for when I do work on vending machines and the like. So I've got a little bit of everything in here. And this, I think probably the most costly part of this would probably have been the case. I made this for doing cars out of a hex key, I think. Yeah, so this was robust enough to kind of jam into a dust shutter, and it would hold it open so I could get in there with picks. And I've got some Y tension tools in here, their little rubber washer and stuff. I've got my gold standard. This is the turning tool that I sell on my website, hooligankeys.com, if you're interested. This is, I think like 2 3/4 rigid twist, TR4 HPC. And I like this because it lets me do top of keyway turning force as well as bottom of keyway, all in one tool, commercially easy to get, and it's not too thick, so I can use this on Americans, which is like my biggest enemy in the field usually before I have to do some trickier stuff. Got a Rytan plug spinner for when I pick stuff the wrong way. All in all, I think this is a pretty complete kit. Probably doesn't have a lot of precision for the more high security stuff that I deal with sometimes. I don't really have anything in here that I could finagle a Primus open with, other than some like wire that I would jiggle around with. But let's see how it picks. So I'm just gonna take a standard. I think there's a short hook by HPC and their turning tool. Why not? Set this up here and let's pick a lock. I think the lock I'm going to pick is this Mako, given to me by Legal Lock Picker, who I used to chat with a fair bit. And then when COVID hit, I think he got COVID. And he hasn't really uploaded since around a time where he mentioned that he might have some health problems. So if you're out there, Legal, this is for you. And if something graver happened, well, we'll all miss you. So I'm going to just try and keep it lighthearted. I just kind of grabbed the first lock that I saw and tried to pose it. So, all right. So how are we going to do this? I think I'm going to do top of keyway. This is a 6-pin American clone. I'm not going to get it because who cares? This is just kind of a tool showcase. So I'm in the back, pin 6. It's definitely binding. If you're new to lockpicking and you're watching this, binding refers to a principle of action that a pin is harder to lift than other pins because it is closest to being set on the shear line of the plug, and it is resisting because it is the closest to that mechanical border. And you basically, when you're looking for the binding pin, what you're looking for is the pin that's the hardest to lift. And you're just going to kind of run through the pin stack that way. And hopefully you can find your way through. I'm not the best instructor of lock picking. Impressioning is more my forte. And then I'm also not the greatest picker. So I've got chronic hand pain, which I mentioned in the last video, which is why I don't do videos like this all that often, because my hands very often hurt a lot. So, all right. 1 and 2 we're binding. This being an American clone, I know that there's gonna be serrations, and I'm kind of counting my way through 2 clicks each on the top pins, because I'm kind of hoping that it's going to pick the exact same. I have picked this before, probably. It being an American, I have a lot of Americans and American clones. So what I'm going to be doing here is just trying to see if it follows my predictions for what it's going to pick like, because I hope that it's enough like an American. Ooh, chunky. I will not hesitate to give up and say that this doesn't hold up anymore, but I think it might, because this is how I used to pick Americans. So I just gotta keep my head about me. So Mako is a company that makes American clone locks, obviously. They're based in Florida, I believe, and they are a great company. They have developed a novel product of their own that I can talk about, which is their SFIC A2 pinning kit that is full of security pins, known as M2, like Mako A2. And it is a great kit. I sell SFIC pinned up to their pins all the time. It's one way that I kind of pick resistance to my customers and say, hey, this is something you're worried about, which you really shouldn't be worried about it if you're using SFIC, because that's not something that's easily picked by anybody. I mean, you can rake your way open, obviously, but it's about a shot of the dark as anything. So, boy, I am not getting anything. I think I might have overset something. And also, this pick is very thick. So, I'm going to let it all drop. All right. And I'm going to move to another pick, because why not? And there's nothing here that says that we can't switch tools, because I'm the boss of this video, and ain't nobody gonna tell me different. So I'm gonna use a Raitan. This is their small format. This is 20% smaller than their full size, with their ergonomic banana handle. And I'm gonna give this a shot. It's smaller, 23 thousandths thick, and kind of glides through these a little better. I've got more of a lifting angle if I need it. And I think I might need it. Ooh, do you hear that snappy crunch? I was gonna say, I wonder if it just broke the tip. That'd be just my luck for a video. All right. You know, a lot of y'all that interact with me in the Discords and stuff, you go through and you do your high security locks, and I think it's very impressive. However, I will say there's just a sublime enjoyment about some of those channels that don't do high security stuff, but they're always picking like another lock. And it's, you know, like something standard, like, oh, I found something in a pawn shop or a flea market, and this is just really a cool lock, and I wanted to pick it for you. There's just something so nice about kind of like watching that neighborly video, you know, because a lot of you are really just foundationally, you know, great experts in getting past these mechanisms. I'm not, at least not with picking, you know. I've got my ways, but it's there's just something nice about that everyday feeling, that very good feeling you wake up and be happy to say. Anyway, that was Mr. Rogers. One of the few objectively good people in history. Just a wonderful person. Please join my Fred Rogers fan Discord. We talk about everything Fred Rogers. He's just a great guy. It's a Sweater Fan 42069 or Good Neighbor State Farm. And you can find me in Discord. So this is chewy. It doesn't feel good. I'm not feeling any of the telltale stuff. Nothing's really setting. The feedback isn't what I'm used to anymore. Because I don't use this kit very much. It just kind of, it's like a benchmark or a bookmark of my career. Just kind of back there as a reminder. You know, because it worked for a real long time. And now it's not doing what I would like it to do, which is work. That kind of set it off. Now, when I'm in the field, I have no problem taking forever to pick a lock. I will lose money to get something surreptitiously, or rather non-destructively. I do not drill locks. I have never had to drill a lock to get past it in my whole career, which is it's a mere about 10 years of being a locksmith, like, which isn't high in comparison to some people who've been in the trade, like on LP 101, there's Cinefar. He's been a locksmith for 55 years. I don't know if he's retired yet, but I mean, somebody like that, like even 10 years is a drop in the bucket. It's fractional to them, especially if you own your own shop. Let's see. Might be over tensioning, like just being way too tight. I think you got to kind of float these bad boys. And again, you know, like, I'm not hung up on the particulars here. I would just keep doing this for a long time. Try and say stuff to a customer like, hey, when I get this open, where can I come find you? You want to, like, invite them to go do their own thing. You don't want them to, you know, hang around over your shoulder or say stuff like, it's a lot faster in the movies, isn't it? You know, stuff like that. You get that all the time. So, all right. So, I'm not getting this to work. Oh, it's because I haven't treated this one. So, right hands, they have this little ridge because I think they're pressed from both sides. And that really diminishes feedback. And I think that might be one of the newer picks that I've got in there for that reason. I've got a couple in here that I'm confident that I have treated. Because if I was using this kit with any sort of regularity, and I was, I would have treated the pick that I was using. Okay. Yeah, I think this one. All right, we'll try this again. Then if not, you at least got to see the kit. And, you know, don't take indicators of my ability as an indicator of the tool's capability, you know, because I've got a friend who's able to pick open Medico cam locks with these picks, and I can't regularly pick open Medico cam locks, so I mean, I have done it, but all right. This is picking a little better, luckily. Looking for that binding. Okay, that kind of popped into place. All right, this next one. All right. In the back here, because I think there's an anti-bump pin or something, it's just got a devil of a pin. Just a real pain. Yeah, and after I touch it, it kind of makes all the binding kind of go away, which kind of tells me that I overlifted something, or maybe I overlifted that one. I don't know where the key to this is, so I couldn't test for sure. The only way to find out is going to get this open, so. Okay. Nothing doing so far. I mean, I'm getting nothing, which, you know, this wasn't really a highlight reel lock anyway, because it's not something I'm familiar with, but I would be happy to retry this on a regular American because it follows the rules. Or at least American locks do. All right, so I'm going to give one more go through here. And then I'll probably just hang it up. Okay. So I had a lockout recently. It was another bathroom lockout, because those are the best ones. And somebody had locked themselves in there. And I was on the campus of this site, and they asked me, hey, can you go open it? I said, of course, that's my job. And I go in there, and I open it up, and somebody had kind of started dosing themselves up with an IV needle. This is about, not the other day. This is more about like 4 years ago or something. But it's relevant enough. And somebody, got their needle going, and they had used a used needle, and it had grabbed their vein. And when they went to remove it, they had dragged some of their vein out of their arm, which was gross, and they were kind of going out of it, and they had sprayed blood all over the wall. So when I opened it, myself and the officer who was there to attend me were greeted to a very gory scene, and it was not my favorite. It was very gross. I did not go in. I am not a biohazard locksmith. So it was very concerning. I'll remember it forever. I know you can just kind of visualize it. I'm not going to paint a picture for you. LOL. Okay. I'm getting nothing. Okay, well, I'm going to quit because this is already 17 minutes long and my stories are blasé. But anyway, thanks for looking at my tools. And anyway, I'll probably upload some more. And as always, I've been Rubberman. Thanks for watching.